iOS 18 is packed with hundreds of new features. From the ability to customize your home screen by placing icons anywhere you want and even changing their color, to the major Apple Intelligence features that are coming later in the year and early next year. But did you guys know that there are a ton of secret features that Apple has not talked about at all? And we managed to find not 10, not 20, not 30, but actually 35 of them. Also, you guys kept asking us to offer individually purchasable wallpapers packs. Well, we're now running an experiment on our wallpapers website where you can buy 6 of the most popular packs in our app, which will rotate each week. This week, we've got Sahara Summit, Dark Distortion, Vibrant Velvet, Wild Wonders, Dynamic Dunes, and Chromatic Coils. And if you guys like this, then we'll bring this feature into our app as well. Simply go to wallpapersapp.com/store or click the link in the description to browse our stunning selection of 8K wallpapers packs. Okay, so the first secret feature is that when you launch the flashlight, you can now adjust not just its brightness, but its width as well. So if you want the beam of light to be wider or more concentrated in a particular area, you can now do that. And you can now finally share the QR code for the Wi-Fi network that you're connected to, something that Android has had for many years now. Although finding this feature is quite unintuitive, because rather than doing this from the Wi-Fi settings, you have to go to Apple's new Passwords app, then find your Wi-Fi network, and then share the QR code from there. The next change is pretty minor, but also pretty cool. Whenever you press any of the buttons, the screen will now animate right where the bezels are, giving you the impression that the bezels are expanding. Really nice touch. Also, in the battery settings, you can now pick a custom charge limit, from 80% all the way up to 100%. Previously, you could only select an 80% limit. Selecting a 90% limit will still protect your battery whilst giving you more charge throughout the day. Speaking of charging, you can now also quickly power off your iPhone, straight from the control center, without you having to go through the settings or you having to press the volume plus power button. And speaking of pressing buttons, aside from the fact that you can change the lock screen buttons to any control toggle that you want, you can also assign a custom app to them. So if you're like me and you tend to use third-party photo apps like Halide, you can actually assign one of the lock screen buttons to be just that. All you have to do is just assign it using the Siri shortcut Open App. And the reader in Safari is also much improved now. We not only get a brand new UI that allows us to do things such as enable it for every website or toggle the screen reader much faster, but we also get the ability to change the background color as well as the text font. And if you always wanted to have this super clean desktop, aside from rearranging the icons and placing them anywhere you want and giving them a custom color, you can also make them bigger and then hide their labels for a super minimal look. Speaking of icons, Apple has now changed the way dark mode works, in the sense that once enabled, both your widgets and your icons will feature this dark mode look. So if you want the previous look of having dark widgets, but then the original look of the icons, it seems like the only way to do this is via custom icons in Siri shortcuts. And since we're talking about dark mode, when you edit the photo, you can now choose between light mode and dark mode for the background. Then, the calculator app also gets some major changes, like history and math nodes, but the best feature in my opinion is probably the simplest. You can now delete digits by pressing the delete button. Previously, you literally had to swipe left on the screen, something that very few people knew about. Then the calendar app also gets some changes, with my favorite being that you can now pinch in and out or use the menu when you're in the monthly view in order to show more or less detail. Another cool feature is an accessibility setting called live recognition. So let me show you how this works. So you simply point the camera at what you want it to describe.
A person holding a black camera in front of a white wall. A person holding a camera next to a green plant. A green tree in front of a white background. A person in front of a group of purple lights.
So it actually works surprisingly well. It's far from the accuracy of ChatGPT describing an image, but
the person has a sleek and stylish look with their black leather jacket and light-colored shirt. Right now, they seem engaged with us, looking directly at the camera.
But it's still better than nothing, especially if you're visually impaired. Also, if your hearing is impaired, you can now enable music haptics and get these vibrations whenever you're playing a song in Apple Music that would then match the beat of the sound playing. Another cool accessibility feature is called eye tracking, which works just as you'd expect. You calibrate it by following these dots with your eyes, and then you'll be able to control your iPhone by just using your eyes. So you can select toggles by just looking at them, and then tap them by staring at them for longer. So far, the tracking isn't perfect, but I do expect this to improve in a future beta version. And one last cool new accessibility feature, it's called vocal shortcuts, where you can select an action like enabling a smart home scene or launching the camera, and then record a voice message for that action. But the best part is that you don't have to invoke Siri for this. You just say your custom phrase like launch the camera and it will automatically launch the camera for you. Apple also redesigned the settings app and now they grouped all apps into this app category, making it far easier to find things. Now you all probably know about the SOS messages feature, which is one of my favorite features in iOS 18. But did you guys know that you can also now share live video with the emergency responders, making it even easier for them to find you? Then, in the Photos app, if you scroll all the way down and then you go into Customize, you can enable wallpaper suggestions, which will automatically pick the best photos for you that can then be used as wallpapers. Not only that, but it would also crop the images for you, and sometimes it will even give them a custom filter. But as always, if you're looking for some super high quality wallpapers, you know where to find them. And speaking of colors, you can now set a custom gradient color as your clock on the lock screen. And you know how Apple completely redesigned the control center? Well, my favorite part is that now you can modify the toggles straight from the control center itself, without you having to go through the settings menu, and you can even resize them with ease this way, which also applies to the home screen widgets. You can now quickly change your size without having to go into the widget selector and pick the size that you need. Then, the weather app will now show you specific weather for your home and your work. These are based on whatever locations you've set in Apple Maps. Then, if you use CarPlay, you'll now be able to get sports scores directly on your car's dashboard. And thanks to all the control center improvements that I mentioned before, the action button on the iPhone 15 Pros is way more powerful now, as you can assign any control that you want, such as launching the Wallet app, the Apple TV remote, and much more. Then Apple Pay can now be used on any non-Apple device too. It will simply generate the QR code, and then you can scan that with your iPhone in order to make the payment. Also, in certain regions, you'll now be able to simply tap your card on the back of your iPhone in order to add it to Apple Pay. And in the Wallet app, when you add your ID, you'll now be asked to take a live photo in order to verify your identity. Then, in the Phone app, you can now use T9 dialing in order to find your contact. So if you're old like me and you remember using T9 dialing on a feature phone before, then you'll know that this is a way faster method of finding your contact than searching for it. Speaking of time, you can now send a message later in iMessage, but for some reason you can only do so up to 2 weeks in advance. On top of that, the menu is also very hard to find, as rather than you holding on the send button, which is what you would expect, you first have to tap on this plus, then scroll down, and then find the send later option from there. Then, in the Home app, we now get the option to select a preferred home hub. So if you're like me and you've got a HomePod and an actual Apple TV, maybe your Apple TV is plugged into Ethernet, which means that that would be a much more stable home hub to use. Then, in Notes, you can now change the color of your selected text, something that was only possible to do on the Mac, and yeah, it wasn't very straightforward either. Also, in Notes, you can now add files in addition to just images, as well as record audio notes, which, as you probably already know, you can transcribe into text if you've got an iPhone 15 Pro or newer. And there are also 2 more battery changes. The first is that you now get a slow charger warning when you use one. Also great for troubleshooting a charger that just isn't charging as fast as it should. And the second is that when your iPhone is dead, you'll now still be able to see the time, in addition to the already existing Find My functionality. Now, of course, there are way more updates in iOS 18, so if you want us to do a follow-up video with even more changes and maybe some tips and tricks too, do leave a comment down below. And feel free to continue this conversation on our dedicated ZONEofTECH Discord channel. I'm Daniel, this is ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.